So today I was able to sit down with my boss, Tony Frangipane. Tony, I'm going to ask you some questions about your career choices and how you ended up here at the CAP Center. So, to start, what experiences, paid or unpaid, would you encourage for anybody pursuing a career in this field?
Well, when I started out, I took almost every job I possibly could. I interned at the Revelation Theater in New York. When going to school, I was, besides working at the University Theater at Yale, I was also working at Long Wharf Theater, one of the top regional theaters in the country, as an usher and a page and errand boy, working with different directors, Arvin Brown, Joey Tillinger, different designers. I would say get as much experience as you possibly can, even if you donate your time and volunteer.
How does this career affect your lifestyle and your work or family balance?
Yeah, family and work do not go together when you're in the theater. When I first started out, I did a lot of tours, and I was in and out of New York, and not really having a personal life. I left the theater for about 10 years. I started managing restaurants, and believe it or not, managing restaurants gave me more free time for travel and for relationships, and I got a dog. So theater does take a toll, especially when you're working in a theater company that runs year after year after year with no weekends off.
What special advice would you give a person entering this field?
Watch and learn, see as much theater as you possibly can, magazines, movies, just something that you have a point of view when you're directing something or when you're working in the theater. The more contact you have with artistic choices, the better you'll become.
What do you wish you had known about this field or organization before you entered it?
This job or overall?
Overall, and then this job.
I couldn't see myself doing anything else in the entire world. I love theater. I love theater history. I think the arts are important. I think that we as a country don't have enough arts or government-supported arts. I think I would have saved more when I was making more money. Just know that it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough for a good 15, 20 years.
So what does it take to be successful in this type of career, whether it be performing or acting or trying to run a theater like this?
The honest answer is connections. The more people you have a better relationship with or a good relationship with really helps. Relationships. Having people on your side, on your team, surrounding yourself with good, talented people.
So what sacrifices may be necessary to be successful?
You're gonna not have a home life for a while. You know, family relationships suffer. You miss anniversaries, birthdays. At least now with modern technology, there's FaceTime and Skype, and you can see people, but it's rough.
What are some basic prerequisites for jobs in this field?
I'm going to say this and get torn down. I think you have to have the willingness to learn. I think you need to have knowledge of the past. I think, as much as I want to say it doesn't need a degree, but the connections you make in college are going to help you along the way.
What are the educational requirements for something in this field? Would you recommend graduate school or any?
Graduate school is more helpful than undergraduate. I will agree with that. The reason why graduate school is helpful is the connections you make, the people you know, the commonality of what's going on in the theater world and where people are working. I have friends who are working in theaters in Florida, opened their own theater. I have friends in Connecticut. I have friends making movie producers, people in California, and that's because of my grad school.
What personal qualities or abilities are important for success?
Now don't laugh. Calm, cool, and collected head. You need to see the forest before the trees. You have to look at the big picture and have to be really good at money management because every purchase you spend has to go over a long haul and not just the short-term goals.
What jobs and experience have led you to your present position here at CAP?
What have I done? I've done everything. I've ushered, I've house managed, I've done subscription work at Longworth Theater, I've worked on new productions at Goodspeed Opera House, I've toured in a workshop of a show called The Gym, I've directed at community theaters, I've directed at the professional level, I've acted in all different, from off-Broadway to national tours to community theater, all that helps.
So, what are the typical salary ranges in this profession? It's kind of a loaded question.
Yeah, I really can't. They're all over the board.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can have someone's making hundreds of $1,000s and someone making $30,000 a year. It all depends on the nature of the beast. If you're in a nonprofit, if you're a for-profit, if you're in a professional, in a community theater. Some people do things for free.
How did you get your first job in this field?
My first job outside school was working at Longworth Theater. A friend of mine who I went to high school with, actually went to the all-girls school, I went to the all-boys school, was an usher at Longworth Theater, and they were hiring ushers, and I applied. That led me to the box office. And
So how long have you been in this field?
was it 35 years?
What are your duties and your responsibilities for the CAP Center?
Besides being Associate Artistic Director, I'm General Manager. I work with programming, box office. I head up the Musical Theater and Acting Academy, which is our classroom in our school. I do budgets. I maintain the website. I try to do the social media, which you helped on this summer. A little bit of everything.
What are the advantages and disadvantages in working in this field?
The advantage definitely is I'm doing what I love. I'm handing down theater history to the next generation. The disadvantages, long hours, 7 days a week, sometimes 8-9 weeks in a row without a day off.
And if you could do it all over again, would you choose the same profession?
Absolutely.
Cool. Well, thank you for your time, Tony. I appreciate your answers and your insight.
Thanks, Jared.